All right, let's take an inside look back at the Super Bowl and why head coach Dan Quinn said they were too tired at the end to finish. Let's take a listen.
I yell at you, nothing personal. I know, you know me.
We're competitive. We're competitive.
Let's go blow this roof off.
And here comes Truman running laterally. He goes over the tackle. Dives and falls into the end zone. Touchdown Atlanta.
We about to get a pick, though.
Brady gets the snap from Andrews. Intercepted. Coming back up the field is Robert Alford. Go, score. Touchdown, Falcons.
Shaking his head. He ain't never met nothing like this.
Hey, it's Tom Brady, though, man.
Gotta believe, boys.
Near hash of the 36. Shotgun snap to Brady. Stands in, throws down low for Edelman. Ball's tipped. And Julian diving for it.
I caught it.
Edelman has it. Did he make the catch? He did.
Caught it. Crazy, I swear to God.
And in fact, there was a bobble, but he was able to catch it before it hit the turf.
I think he caught that.
He backs up, hands it to White. Up the middle. Touchdown, Patriots. They've drawn within 2 in Super Bowl 51. Tom takes the snap. Quick throw to Amendola. Screen left. A flag as he reaches across the goal line for a score.
They're offsides. That's in.
Yeah!
There we go. Let's go. And we go to overtime here in Houston.
Toss sweep right for James White. Tucks it under the right arm. Cuts it upfield. Driving forward. Diving to the goal line. A touchdown and a title for the Patriots.
I know. They gotta review it. He's off the field. Is it over?
Yes.
They gotta review it.
They reviewed it.
Did they?
Oh, an epic collapse for Atlanta. And here's what Dan Quinn said yesterday when asked about the end of Super Bowl 51. The guys were gassed. We had never played in the 90s in terms of snap count. We were not traumatized at all. You could tell there was nothing left in the tank. They would come to the sideline in the fourth quarter, and nobody was talking because there was just nothing left. Herm, is that a valid excuse? Is this insane?
No, they were tired, and there was a reason. 93 plays on defense, and this is
How
one
can
of
you be
those.
tired?
Well, because defenses are built to play 55 to 65 plays, and I said this when this game was going on. I said, first of all, if you're the Atlanta Falcons, there's this thing in the National Football League we call hammer time. It's a situation football, and when you had a lead that they had, it's real simple. You actually do this to the coordinator. You as a head coach, you walk over there by the coordinator, and you say, Coach, this is not a suggestion. This is what we're about to do. We're going to run the ball because we're playing the clock. We're winning. All we got to do is just run some time off the clock, and we're going to win a Super Bowl. Not a suggestion, Coach. So you figure out what I'm telling you now, and then walk back over here and just stand over here as a head coach and put your arms around your thing and just watch him play and run the clock out and game over. That did not happen.
Why?
Because they were worried about scoring points. They got into the mode of what their offense is, this high-flying offense, rather than
playing the situation.
Play the situation, the game. You're winning the game. Control the game. Let the big guys like Damian block those guys and knock them off the ball and just run the ball.
See, and this is just for the casual fan. The passing game, that's what you get your scoring from the passing game. The running game is how you finish a game. I think that's where the Atlanta Falcons, where they didn't recognize the situation, run the ball and finish the game out, take away possessions from the Patriots, and you wouldn't be in this predicament.
You throw to score. You run to win. You run to finish the game out. Simple formula.
Does Dan Quinn deserve some of this blame? People were very, very critical of the play calling from Kyle Shanahan. Where is Dan Quinn's responsibility in this, Herm?
Well, his responsibility is when the game is being played, you as the head coach, you get to veto everything. And when the game is being played a certain way and you don't like it, you tell your coordinators, I'm not telling you, it's not a suggestion, we need to do this. And this is where Dan Quinn has to get a hold of the coordinator and say, look, this is what I want. The next series, this is what I want. And the coordinator generally says, okay, coach, it's your team, let's do it.
Listen, the buck starts with the head coach. And I mean, I was one of many people who blasted Kyle Shanahan because they were just doing what they've done all year, which is just the high-flying circus act, which got them to the Super Bowl. But again, that's great. But again, the game of football is situational. More people find ways to lose games than win them. And what the Falcons did, they found a way to lose a game because they didn't play the situation properly. And that ultimately falls on the head coach.
They allowed Captain America 93 offensive plays. Captain America, Tom Brady, right?
Yep.
That's the last guy you want to give 93 offensive plays to and say, defense, stop Captain America. You can't do it.
All right, that game's over with. So Damien, if you're on this Falcons team, though, does any of that carry over into the locker room now? Do you trust Dan Quinn as a head coach?
Absolutely. Listen.
Even though.
Absolutely. Look, last year's team has no bearing on this year's team. You got to understand, rosters change over about a quarter or a third of the roster changes every year. So this year's version of the Atlanta Falcons is different from last year's version. You can't just take everything that happened last year and we're going to apply it this year. It doesn't work that way. Everyone is literally starting from ground zero, and they have to work and build their way back up to get to that point. But no, if you're the Falcons, if you're the players in that locker room, last year's gone. Don't worry about that. Just prepare this year.
How do you get over that, Coach?
Well, first of all, Coach Quinn, he's had experience doing this. He went with Seattle. He won the 2 Super Bowls. He wins one, he loses one. Now, here's the first thing I would tell this football team. By the way, man, we had the lead in 4 games during the season in the fourth quarter, and we lost. This just happened to be the 5th one. We got to find our way to finish games. I got to help you do that as a head coach. That's the first thing I'm going to tell him. As a head coach, that's on me. Finishing games, I know how to get that done.
Yeah.
You got to help me now. If you're a player on the Atlanta Falcons, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and go, let me see something now. The MVP last year in this league was Cam Newton. They went to the Super Bowl. They were 6-10. All right? We don't want to be like the rest of the teams in this division that have gone to Super Bowls. And only one team the next year actually had a good record was the Saints, 11-5, and they lost to the wild card to Seattle. All teams that have gone to the Super Bowl in this division, except for the Saints, the following year did not have productive years.
All right, worst play calling then? Pete Carroll in the Super Bowl that year, or Kyle Shanahan last year in the Super Bowl? Worse.
Worse decisions. I mean, first of all, they both had there were situations in the game where they can close the game out. And the head coach is responsible for that. Okay? I've been a head coach. And when that doesn't get done due to maybe not playing the game like you want it to be played, eventually it's on the head coach. The head coach says, look, we're in this situation. It's my job to allow us to win a game. I got to make a decision.
I'm going to make this real easy.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's was worse.
Why?
Why? Because there's a difference here. See, with the Atlanta Falcons, it was a series.
It was a
series of situations that they failed. Whereas you're on the 1 yard line with Beast Mode in the backfield.
Yeah.
Give him the football.
But you could also make the argument that it's worse for Dan Quinn because of numerous different mistakes versus just one.
Look, I just listen. It's just hard. I'm on the 1 yard line. I got Beast Mode in the backfield. How hard is giving the ball on the 1 yard line? That's not different.
Damien makes a great point because their whole philosophy in Seattle is run the football.
They went against what they've been doing.
The big guys will block. We'll run the ball. Where the Atlanta Falcons, they're high flying. Exactly. Right? They want to throw.
They stuck, and maybe it backfired. Maybe that's how you can look at it. And here's the thing: his motto last year was fast and aggressive. This year, it's embrace the suck. That's their motto. They actually had wristbands on it.
Look, you got to live with Luke. He won both of his. Okay, the Super Bowls he was involved in. I lost one, and I know how those guys are feeling. And it takes a great effort just to get back in the playoffs. Because now you're going to be the team that's hunted in that division. You won the division. You had the MVP at quarterback. You're the highest scoring offense in the league. Everybody knows it. And when they play you, you have to have your A game now. You got to have your A game. Because everybody said, hey, those guys, they lost Super Bowl. They went to Super Bowl. These are the guys we got to beat. They better be ready.
Yeah.
You think Cam Newton, you think Carolina Panthers going to be bad again? No. Tampa, they're coming.
Saints. You know Drew Brees is going to throw for 4,000 yards.
That's going to be a division to watch out for.
All right, well, they actually had the Embrace the Suck wristbands last year as well. But Dan Quinn recently said, sometimes you got to just eat a crap sandwich. So that's how they're dealing with it.
Let it go, Coach.